A few months back, a couple cases of Bud Light and AR-15, Kid Rock blew them smithereens, saying fuck that over the whole trans bullshit.
Hi! Impressive carrying skills, right?
Well, fast forward a few months later, he's had a change of heart.
What the fuck?
Saying Bud Light made a mistake.
What?
We don't need to kill them.
Are you retarded?
Gee, I wonder what made him change his mind. I'm Jazz Berganzo. This.
It's not a rhetorical question. Are you retarded?
It's What's Next. Hello, everyone. Jazz Berganzo. What's Next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. And of course, we're now at the Christmas weekend. So, of course, everybody's been running around, getting their presents online, being in person, waiting the long lines, the wrapping, the whole thing, just for that magical day. Well, some people are going to celebrate a myriad of ways. Family, friends, food, drink. And speaking of drink, remember Bud Light? Yes, that wonderful, refreshing light beer that just goes, when it hits your palate. Not really. Well, the same Bud Light, who used to be the number one most sold light beer in the country, dropped to a miserable 14 after deciding, well, you know what? Who would make a great pitch man? I know. A dude who likes to feel pretty. Well, after that cluster of a debacle where many executives of Bud Light got fired, boycotts galore, we fast forward a few months later, well, some have decided, well, I've had a change of heart. I've had a change of mind. I think we shouldn't kill them. That's coming out of Kid Rock. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Kid Rock, Bud Light made a mistake. We don't need to kill them. But before we hear them, let's go into the story. Musician and business owner Kid Rock said Wednesday on Newsmax, The Balance, that he ended his boycott with Bud Light because he believed they understood their mistake and he didn't want to kill them. Really? Like a good friend, I have made my mistakes and I need your forgiveness. No, they're a business who fucked up royally and they had to pay. But let's hear from the man himself.
You mentioned, light up a cigar, have a beer, brings me to Bud Light. Yeah, I remember that. We played it 100 times in the show, kid. You just mowing down the cases of Bud Light with your automatic, semi-automatic. It was fantastic. But now I hear you're making amends with the Bud Light, and okay, Megyn Kelly took you to task a little bit. Let's take a listen.
This is like the only successful boycott that Republicans have ever engaged in. It's the only time they've stuck together and actually been heard. And because Kid Rock and Dana White want to give it up, we're supposed to all surrender our principles now. And I like Kid Rock. I actually do. I like the guy. But he's wrong. He can do what he wants. If he wants to drink a Bud Light, he can. He does not speak for the rest of us. Many of us are still deeply offended by that brand's partnership with the person who makes his living mocking women, Dylan Mulvaney, not to mention what they said about their core audience and customer base, which is that they've gotten too fratty and they want to get away from them.
Fact. That was the former executive at Bud Light who got dismissed.
We do what Kid Rock tells us to.
Well, so my good friend Megyn there, she don't like no Bud Light, my friend. So what's your response?
First off, I love Megyn. We've been friends for a long time. But she's got this one wrong. Saying me and Dana don't speak for conservatives. Neither one of us ever said we did. I explained myself before on another program about Bud Light. I'm pretty sure they got the message. Do I agree with what they did? F no. And we held their head underwater for quite some time and we heard them. But I'm not someone to keep punching somebody when they're down, when there's a whole lot more companies deserving of this treatment. And
he's right about that. That he's right about.
He's a very good friend of mine about the things they've done through the years with Folds of Honor. So has Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney, for that matter, and countless other things. And I'm like, I get it. They made a mistake. All right, I don't need to kill him, but Megyn ought to be careful when she's throwing stones in glass houses, because I told her way back in the day, you both were on a familiar network, and she could have been king of Fox News. But they dangled that shiny carrot in front of her, and for whatever reason, whether it was money, maybe she wanted more mainstream success, she goes to NBC. And what happened at NBC? She's still as conservative as she ever was over there. And NBC didn't like that. So what'd they do? They threw her out like a redheaded stepchild. So careful, Megan. We're all on the same team here. Just because I have different beliefs than you, you know, conservatives don't all think alike and agree on every issue, much like, you know, that race baiting clown Al Sharpton doesn't speak for all black people. You know, we can all have different points of views, and that goes for the left and right too. I think at the end of the day, we can all hopefully in this coming year try to find more things we have in common than we don't. You know, I talked to Bill Maher, and we're talking, and he hates Trump. I'm like, I love Trump. Do you want to sit here and talk about this the whole time, or you want to find some stuff we have in common?
Kid Rock made a couple of good points in regards to trying to find more commonality with those quote unquote liberals, old school liberals. You know, Joe Rogan is one of them. For being a young guy, he's kind of an old school liberal. Bill Maher is an old school liberal, and Bill Maher has at times tasted the red pill. He's still not, he's still not there, not yet anyway. But anywho, regarding the whole situation with Bud Light, the fact of the matter is that Bud Light made a fatal mistake. It was a Mortal Kombat fatality. You went from number 1 in the country to number 14. Fact is that you made a mistake, a massive mistake when you decided to have one of your reps, one of your pitchmen who likes to wear dresses, act like a child, and think he's a she. That's a problem. Dylan Mulvaney still running around. He's still running around in Europe saying, I'm a woman all day long. No, you're a mentally ill retard. But for Kid Rock to basically take Megyn Kelly and throw her under the bus, I mean, basically, yeah, doing that, calling out the debacle that happened to NBC, and she clearly admits that. She's admitted in the past that the situation at NBC she thought was a little grass greener, but there were circumstances at Fox News that forced her hand, and she moved on from it. And look at her now. What is she? Behind, I think she's number 1 or number 2. Either Tucker's number 1 or she's number 1, you know, in podcasting overall, not conservative podcasting, in overall podcasting. So Kid Rock, for Kid Rock to be throwing stones, I think it's very stupid of him, you know. But Megyn Kelly's already said her piece, and Megyn Kelly's not going to back down, and a lot of us are not going to back down. I caught a clip of Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is like, no, just because Kid Rock and Dana White are running around saying, forgive Bud Light. Dana White signed a massive deal with Bud Light. And I understand Bud Light does some things for the military, and they've done it in the past. They've been consistent with it. That's great. But at the same time, when you are telling Tucker, you need to sit there and drink Bud Light by the gallons because they think more like we do. No, Dana. No. The boycott will go on. Bud Light will still suffer. And the one thing Kid Rock is right about, neither he nor Dana White speak for all conservatives. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Damn. And we'll see you next time. Peace.